Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're talking about my 8th grade trip to Washington, D.C., which I've talked about stories from in other videos. I talked about my Padre story and the McDonald's story in my middle school drama. But anyway, so this trip is basically, it's a week-long trip to Washington, D.C. with like my entire 8th grade class. And I didn't know this at the time, but I think this is a relatively common thing, like an 8th grade DC trip. So like we're preparing for this trip a lot, right? Like this happens all throughout the school year. Like they're talking to us 8th graders. We have all these conference meetings. We do all this stuff because they want to show we're prepared because it's like a big deal. But they have us prepping for this trip all year. Now, it comes to day of trip, and I'm ready to go. We gotta get there. 5 a.m. My dad's going with me. My friends. I'm rooming with my friends all week. This is gonna be the most epic week of my life. It is going to be legend. Wait for it, Dairy. That is a ball reference to How I Met Your Mother. If you've never seen it. But basically, we have to board this bus at 5 a.m. and I don't remember the exact length of the drive, but we didn't get there till dinner time, and I was stuck in a bus full of 8th graders for this entire bus ride. So we're going there. I'm sitting with one of my friends, but there's not enough room for me to have like an empty seat beside me, so I have to sit with someone. But it's a pretty empty bus. And the bus was actually pretty quiet, besides this one kid that called 911 while we were in the bus and then hung up. That was interesting. He gets his own video. He's most definitely gonna get his own video. Anyway, but we drive all day, and I'm gonna go going fast because I only got like average length of my video is like 10 minutes, and I gotta cover like a week-long trip. Anyway, but we get there around dinner time, right? It was a very long bus ride, and there was this girl I was on the bus, and I wasn't getting over a girl, but I don't know what I was doing. I was like, I'm gonna raise someone up on this trip, and there was this one girl, and I was like, you're my victim. Yeah, no, that I didn't. She was annoying. I stopped liking her after like an hour. Yeah, I don't even know what that was. Anyway, we get there and we go to like this food court type thing where like it's like a mall. You get your own food, and they give us these cards loaded with money. And I'm walking around, and bruh, why does no one my age flippin' know how to function in like a public setting? Like, we're going to all these restaurants, and they don't know how to get into a line. They don't know how to order food. They don't know how to do anything. They're just freaking idiots. It's, like, irritating me so bad. I'm like tweaking out, but I don't say anything. But it's, like, irritating me so bad. So, anyway, we're at this food court, and I end up going and getting, chicken fingers, like a chicken meal with coleslaw. It was really good, but with a few friends of mine. It was me and a guy and two girls. These two girls were like best friends. But we're hanging out over there, and we're like, okay. And this one girl, so basically the money gets loaded on in periodic amounts under the pre-card they give you, right? But you're also allowed to bring your own money for souvenirs. And this girl brought like $40-50 for souvenirs and extra food and meals like that. So we're hanging out, and then she says, do you want to go to the cookie and ice cream shop with me? And I'm like, sure, why not? So we go to this cookie store. You just have to leave the mall, and it's right on your left. So we weren't like leaving the area, but it like kind of weird. Anyway, so we go to this area, and she's like, okay. And then she walks up and she goes, I'll take 48 cookies, please. What the flip? She didn't actually get 48. I don't remember it was crazy. It cost her $40 to get all the cookies. These were like nice cookies, and she just like got a bunch of them. And I think she had to borrow money for other food on the trip. But like, she just bought cookies. I mean, she gave me one. I ain't complaining. And these were like nice cookies too. It wasn't like some random choco chip. It was like double chocolate chip extreme. But anyway, like we get these cookies and she buys me like 80 million. Or not buys me, but buys like 80 million and has all of them. What the flip? Alright, anyway, moving on. So we're in this mall area and I walk back in. She has her cookies. She's just passing them out, having a blast. Anyway, but I'm with one of my friend's dads. I'm with her dad, and we're hanging out, and he says, "Do you guys want to go check out the upstairs area?" And we're like, "Sure, let's go upstairs and check it out." So there's like this balcony that looks over everything. So we go up there, and when we get up there, we're like walking around. It's cool. I got food. We're taking photos. Then a security guard comes up to us. He's like, "Hey, y'all, this is private property. I can escort you downstairs." And we're like, what the flip? We literally saw so many people up there, like, taking pictures and stuff like that. I think we were just the unlucky group. And he wasn't mean or anything. He was just telling us that we had to get out of there because it wasn't a public area to take photos and do stuff like that. So we're like, okay, we can head out. We can head out. So he escorts us to an elevator and brings us downstairs. And we're lucky we got a nice one because that could have ended so poorly. Anyway, but that was my first interaction with the police that trip. Actually, that was my only interaction with the police besides security guards. Anyway, but that was our first day. Then we ended up going to the 9/11 Memorial, and I personally love Memorial. I was into architecture at the time. Not really into architecture now, but I was really cool. I'm still into architecture. I think architecture is really cool, just not as like a career path. But we got to see this 9/11 Memorial, and it was so cool, so cool. Some of these middle school boys were just like misbehaving, like crazy, and I'm like, dude, y'all know 9/11. Y'all don't make jokes about it all the time. So like, why can't we be a little respectful while we're at the 9/11 Memorial? I don't know. They're idiots. Anyway, but we go there, and then that's our first night. Now, this is where things get a little crazy. So, we head back to our hotel room, right? Or not back. This is our first time going to a hotel room. And it's me, and then 3 other guys. Now, one of these guys is not as close. One of the guys I've been, like, best friends with since 4th grade. And one of the guys I'm kind of close with. Or I'd say I'm a little bit more than kind of close. We're good friends. And it's all of us shoved into a room. And first thing we do, instead of unpacking, is we turn on the TV and try to figure something out. We can't find anything out, and we're bored. Then we get a text from these girls. And they're like, "Hey, you guys want to meet up downstairs and hang out and, like, play Imposter or something?" Imposter is a game where everyone gets a word besides one person. You go around giving clues to what the word is, and you have to vote who you think doesn't know the word. But you can't make it too obvious, and the person who doesn't know the word will get it. Anyway, so we go downstairs, and we're hanging out with these girls, and we do that, and that was our first night there. Now, the second day, we go get food, we go to memorials. I mean, it's really cool, but it's not, like, worth talking about in a YouTube video right now. But we get back that night, and during the day, we figured out that you could have YouTube on the TVs. So that night, we turned on discovering a world that doesn't exist, and proceeded to watch all of it. That's a 2-hour-long YouTube video. And we had to go to sleep. We were like waking up early the next morning. And the worst part is, so basically, another funny part of this, so the outlet in the room wasn't working when we turned off the lights, but the lights were only hooked up to lamps. So the geniuses we were, instead of unplugging the lamps and turning the switch on, that way we could charge our phones in there, we said, we're going to have to put all the phones in the bathroom. So we put the phones in the bathroom, but we needed an alarm to wake up in the morning. Otherwise, we were going to miss when they were taking attendance down in the lobby, and we were going to get in big trouble. So the genius idea, instead of trying to figure out how to lay a phone in the main room, we get pillows and blankets. And I, the willing tribute, sleeps in the doorway between our bathroom and our room and our beds. This was the genius idea we had. The worst part is, every time we'd almost be asleep, someone would be like, cheeseburger, and everyone would break out laughing. So we never actually like got to bed. I was mad tired the next day. Now this cycle kept continuing, just going to memorials, hanging out, doing all this cool stuff. There was cool food, hanging out on the bus, all this wonderful stuff. Now, this tomfoolery kept happening in our hotel room every night. And we were just causing issues. We never got in trouble. Some groups got in trouble, but us, we never got in trouble because we were quiet. There was a room next to us that was playing Granny, which basically one person is blindfolded and they're trying to hit everyone else and they're making noise around the room, and they kept thudding against the wall and our bed physically moved, which was crazy. But you know, that just be life. But this trip ended up actually being crazy with the amount of sleep we got, and it was fire. Now near the end is when the reoccurring character in all of my life stories, the girl, we're just gonna call her the girl. She now gets the title of the girl. So the girl and I start hanging out at every memorial we go to. We're not in any of the same groups, so we shouldn't have opportunity to hang out. But we make it. Like, it wasn't just me, it was her too. I'll fight for that. Anyway. And we are hanging out at every possible event. We're texting on the bus rides. There's 2 buses and we're on different buses. And we're like texting on the bus rides, checking in on each other, talking about politics because we're in Washington, and just like low-key enjoying each other's company, which was such a blast. That was a good time to be alive. Anyway, yeah, but that's really the last important thing about this trip. But this trip was a blast. There'll probably be more stories to come from it because it was the only time I was with my friends for like a solid week straight. But that ends this episode of Minecraft Yaps, and yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe.